My name's Megan, welcome to Treat Yourself. Today we're having a little Halloween spooky festive edition of Treat Yourself. We're gonna be making dirt cakes and drinking coffee because it's the morning. So good morning everyone. So, sorry. We are gonna be making all of the elements of the dirt cakes from scratch today. The cookie, the pudding, and the worms themselves. So what you're gonna need to make all these things, we're gonna be using flour, cornstarch, sugar, of course, cocoa powder. You're gonna need baking soda and salt, vanilla extract, whole milk, some unsalted butter, a few eggs, unflavored gelatin, and some Jell-O packets. Okay, so let's make worms. Oh, you're also gonna need worm molds. Is that part of the ingredients? Is this an ingredient? You need worm molds. It's gonna make your life a lot easier if you're making gummy worms from scratch. So we're going to start making our homemade gummy worms. I have everything laid out because I feel like you gotta be quick about this so they don't start setting up immediately. I have my 2 bowls, my worm molds on a parchment paper lined baking sheet so that I don't get fucking worm Jell-O everywhere. And I'm gonna do this like I'm aiming to get those worms that are like half blue, half red because those are the best ones. Obviously, you're gonna use Jell-O. I'm using raspberry and berry blue. And I have 2 separate bowls so I can make the 2 colors. Just gonna add your Jell-O pack. I'm gonna add the red to one side and the blue to the other. And then each one is going to get 3 packets of unflavored gelatin as well. So we're just gonna put those in. So I'm just gonna kind of use my whisk to combine those powders. I feel like I need to be doing these at the same time. I feel like, okay, it's fine. Everything's fine. I have 2 whisks ready to go. I have some water boiling. Why does this feel so high stakes to me? I feel like they're gonna solidify immediately. They're not. So I'm gonna add 2/3 of a cup of water to each one of these bowls. Boiling water, mind you. Stressed already. Ooh. I should have put parchment paper underneath these and it was f***ing Jell-O all over my counter. Okay, I think that one's good. This is like a race against what? Nothing. When I tell you this shit starts firming up pretty quickly. Both at the same time. We have to mix this one thoroughly. Hold on. So just mix it until it gets fully dissolved. It's literally solidifying already. Okay. All right. Okay. What am I doing? Wasting time. I'm gonna bring my worm molds, and this is the part that's also, I mean, the whole thing's chaotic, honestly. I'm gonna use 2 syringes at the same time, some blue, some red, on each worm, like from the head and the butt. Yeah, look at that.
Dang, you're doing this pretty effortlessly, though.
Thank you. I'm stressed. Yeah, so you squeeze your worm juice into your worm molds. Why does this feel so stressful? The stakes are so low. It's probably good enough. There's a couple more air bubbles, but you know what? So now that your worms are in their molds and you've made a mess all over everything, we're gonna put them in the fridge to chill. These came with also little bear molds. This has nothing to do with this, but I'm gonna use the rest of this liquid and make gummy bears too, because that's just fucking cute. Put your worms in the fridge, and probably in like 15-20 minutes they'll be worms. Okay, so on to making our cookie portion, our dirt, if you will. We're gonna basically make essentially like an Oreo cookie cracker cookie part? Cracker. A chocolate crispy cookie is the goal here. We're gonna start by adding 1 cup. 2 sticks is 1 cup. Yeah. Okay, this is unfortunate because it's supposed to be softened, and I've only been softening 1. So, life hack, if you're stupid and you forgot to soften 2 sticks of butter when you only thought you needed 1, but you actually needed 2, your oven's preheated. Just throw it in there for like 10 seconds. Soft. Great. Round of applause, everyone. Okay. Getting a little out of control here. We're gonna have 1 cup of butter. Softened. Could be softer, I'll be honest. You don't have to abuse your butter, that is optional. Today I did. So to your 1 cup of butter, you're also going to add 1 cup of sugar, and you're going to combine them until it is creamy. Historically, this has been a challenge for me because the butter is never soft enough. I do have an electric mixer. That might make this easier. Yeah, let's use it. Why not? let's be intelligent.
Wait 1 second.
Let's see how well this is even gonna work. Look at that, it's creamy amazing. Okay. So once your butter and sugar is creamy amazing, you're gonna add 2 eggs and stir those in. To this, you're going to add 2 cups of flour. I'm just gonna add my dry ingredients directly into here. Sift it in so it's not clumpy. It makes such a difference, honestly, to sift your shit. I've already sifted this, but this is 1 1/4 cup of cocoa powder. To this, we're also going to add 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda and approximately 2 teaspoons of salt. That's probably fine. And then we're gonna combine it all together into a dough. It smells like an Oreo already. So this is the part where it's almost time to probably get in there with your hands a little bit. It's the most gourmet dirt cake probably that I will ever have in my life. All right, so that's cookie dough. Big ol' chocolate cookie dough. Doesn't it kind of look like a brain a little bit?
What brains are that dark? Ours. Yeah, we got them smokers' brains.
I'm not really following the recipe's instructions on this one because I'm not trying to actually make Oreos. I'm trying to make dirt. I'm gonna start by spraying the surface of this. Also, it is in this moment that I realize you still have my fucking rolling pin.
I have your rolling pin?
Yes, you do.
You said she I have your rolling pin?
Yes. Actually, no.
Megan has my rolling pin.
Your rolling pin?
Are you sure I have it?
Yes. Because I brought it to you when we made a pizza one time. What did you do with my rolling pin? To be fair, I do have your food processor and crock pot and cooking.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna make one big flat cookie.
Because you're just gonna crush it up.
I'm just gonna crush it up and it's gonna be dirt. Honestly, it doesn't really probably even have to be pretty or even because I'm literally only doing this so I can crush it up into a powder. I'm going to just kind of spread it out and I'm gonna put some holes in it too so that the cook time isn't affected by it being like just one big mass. I'll be honest, could be a bad idea. It could. I'll be honest again, I haven't done this before. I'm gonna put this in the oven, preheated to 350 degrees for about 15 minutes and check on it then and see if we have dirt yet. And meanwhile that's cooking, you can make your third element of your dirt cake, which is the pudding. So we're gonna get ready to do that now. Okay, so we're gonna take our giant cookie blobs out of the oven and hope for the best here. This is what it looks like. It looks like a giant blob. I'm gonna just put it over here to the side. Now we're gonna make the pudding. So what we're gonna do first for the pudding is we're gonna need to separate 2 egg yolks. It creeps me out every time, but you don't want this membrane shit in there. I can't grip it. For fuck's sake. It's creepy, right? Happy Halloween. I'm going to whisk the yolks up a little bit so that they get a little lighter, creamier, and they'll start to look a little bit lighter, like a little bit paler of a yellow, and that's kind of how you know. To this, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of cornstarch and then whisk that together. You're gonna also add a little bit of milk, about 1/4 cup. Once that is all combined, we're going to then put this aside for a second, and we're gonna get our pan. To that, we're gonna add a cup of sugar and add 1/4 cup of cocoa powder, and then we are going to add some salt. To that, we're going to add the rest of our milk. This is a total of 2 cups, so we added a little bit to this. We're gonna add the rest of the 2 cups of the milk to this pan. I'm just going to whisk it a little bit to combine the powder. Cocoa powder is like so light and obnoxious to mix into a liquid. If you've ever made a hot chocolate before and you pour the powder on top of your hot milk and then it takes you like 10 years to stir it in, obnoxious. And the only reason I'm doing that first is because you're going to scald this mixture on the stove and you'll be able to tell when it's hot enough, when it starts bubbling up. And we're gonna put it on medium high. There is a certain temperature that it should get to. I do not have a thermometer though, so I am guessing. Basically, you're just making hot chocolate and then putting egg yolks in it, and that's pudding. So what we're gonna do from here is you're gonna dribble a little bit of this mixture into the eggs and whisk them constantly. And what this is doing is tempering the eggs so that they do not scramble once they are added to the heat. So you're gonna add it a tiny bit at a time and stir it constantly. You don't have to add all of it, just enough to get the eggs up to a temperature. And as long as you don't have chunks forming, then you're safe. Now what I can do is pour all of this back into the pan. And now that our whole mixture is in the pot, we're going to actually let it boil, and it's gonna get thick. So once your pudding has boiled, you take it off the heat, stir it a little bit more, and it's gonna get nice and thick and beautiful. You're then going to add your vanilla extract to it. And this is something that I don't tend to measure. I measure vanilla extract with my heart, and that is pudding. Literally, that's it. So from here, we're going to pour our pudding mixture into the bowl to store it in. So this needs to chill, obviously. Cover it in plastic wrap, but we're going to put the plastic wrap all the way to be touching the pudding so that it doesn't form a creepy skin while it's in the fridge. And that's your pudding. You're gonna put it in the fridge until it chills. We've made our gummy worms, we've made our cookie, we made our pudding. We're gonna crush up our cookie, and then it's time to assemble a dirt cake when we have chilled pudding, which I do, because I made some yesterday. We have our 3 dirt cake components. Homemade dirt cakes. All we have to do now is assemble it. And I'm gonna kind of layer it in, starting with pudding. Next, we're going in with some dirt, which I crushed up the cookies, left some of it kind of chunky so that you could get some like cake kind of cookie bits in there. We're gonna go back in with more pudding, another layer of dirt, a little bit more pudding. Sorry, I'm like figuring out how I want to do this as I go. See little layers? The cup is textured, so it makes it hard to see. They're cute. Okay, now I'm gonna shove some worms in there. Go a little bit on the side, because why not? And I think that's it. That's your dirt cake. That's freaking cute. I want to get a little piece of worm in there. I was like, you have to. Holy shit. Damn! The dirt is a little bit messy, but that literally tastes like you're in first grade. You're sitting in the cafeteria. Lunchable status. You ever have those dirt cake Lunchables?
Yes.
That's this, except this is homemade and way more delicious than that. It's super rich because it's all the dark chocolate cocoa. This slaps, and I'm gonna need you to try it immediately.
Little pieces of the dirt.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good. It's exactly what I've been craving when it comes to like childhood Halloween food. So you don't have to buy those shitty pumpkin cookies anymore? The pumpkin cookies are not shitty. Put a photo of the ones I'm talking about and take a photo, and I will everybody will fucking vote that they're important.
Those are important.
Thank you. Thank you.
I will give her that. Those are important.
Dude.
Right?
This is school cafeteria as fuck.
Right, but better.
Better. Damn, this is so good. I think the dark chocolate was a good call, but I just like dark chocolate.
Homemade pudding hits. Who knew that homemade pudding would hit so hard? I'm proud of this, I'm not gonna lie. If you want to impress your friends this spooky season, it's a little bit of a labor of love, but it's pretty easy to make. Make a dirt cake. Okay, that's it. Bye.